Oh, that baby has braces. That's so cute.
Huh?
Kaidi, is the mic blocking my face? Sure.
Kadi, I beg, when we are live, just talk. Papi. Papi.
The seat of kings.
Huh?
The sitting situation of kings. We all sport match today.
Sorry?
We are live? Yeah. Welcome to another Pulse Sports Watchalong. My name is Tosin Abayomi. I am here
With Ayola Kelechi.
with one of our most indefatigable writers on the Pulse Sports website, a seasoned veteran, a seasoned journalist, Ayola Kelechi. Ayola,
Nice to be here, Tosin.
yeah, we are watching the game between the Super Falcons of Nigeria against the Pharaohs or the Pharaohs, or the Pharaohness of Egypt.
Wow.
As long as they are the female version of the Pharaohs, whatever the case is. This game has a lot of consequence.
Of course.
Nigeria, after they lost their first game against Malawi, bounced back with a 1-0 win against Zambia. For Egypt, they don't have anything to play for except national pride. How do you see this game turning out?
I think Egypt generally have been one of the worst teams at this WAFCON, and that's not really a snide to them. It's just the level of competition.
Let's quickly take the lineup. Let's quickly take the lineup. We have Nadozie in goal. We have Alozie. We have Uchebe, Ohale, and Oladipo. We have Tony Payne, Abiodun, and Ajibade in midfield. And we have Rinsola Babajide, Azizat Oshoala, and Ijami Lucy in front. Now, as you were saying about the game.
Yeah, Egypt don't stand a chance. I mean, we just read out the Nigerian team, and it is the definition of star-studded. Alozie, Oshoala, Uchebe. These are seasoned players. Ohale, veteran of the team. Nadozie, arguably the best African goalkeeper ever. So, after losing 6-0 to Zambia, 3-1 to Malawi, I don't see things getting better for Egypt. If they escape with less than a 4-goal defeat, then I say they've done well.
Nigeria, although winning this game is basically their priority,
Yeah.
the margin 2-0, 3-0, 4-0.
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. Their fate is not totally in their hands. As a result, in the game between Malawi and
Listen,
Zambia could affect their qualification chances.
If both Malawi and Zambia get the two specific results that would mean Nigeria gets knocked out, then they have to petition CAF to replay that game, because there's some obvious Ojoro going there.
As we kick off, Nigeria against Egypt, final group game of the 2026 WAFCON group. Nigeria, obviously some changes. We see Risola
They are already on the attack.
already on the attack. We are streaming live on all Pulse Sports Nigeria platforms. We are back on YouTube. We are streaming live on Facebook. We are streaming live on Instagram. We are live on X. And obviously, we are also live on Twitch. So join us. Leave your thoughts. Leave your comments. Ayola, obviously, like I said, a seasoned journalist. He has a lot of rebuttals to make about the Super Falcons of Nigeria, especially based on the fact that they were heavily criticized, despite the fact that we already know their pedigree in this competition. As Egypt are trying to, what is happening here? Whoa! First save of the game. First save of the game from Nadozie.
Shocking.
In the tournament,
It's just the fact they are the worst team in the tournament. Don't be deceived by the 7 stars they have on their jersey. They borrowed those ones from the men's team. And it's shocking that Nigeria would concede the first shot on target to Egypt. Hopefully it's not a sign of things to come, because, like you already mentioned, this is a must-win game. They have to win. Even a draw could be suicidal because Zambia might have the leg up on Malawi, and if they do win that game, then Nigeria will be in serious trouble.
Yeah, so I want you to talk about what is the next thing for the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And I'm not just talking about, okay, what's the next step in their evolution? I think when it comes to African football, and that's why there was a lot of disappointment after the first game against Malawi. They've been there, they've done that. Time and time again, they've showed that they are the first to be reckoned with on this continent. But what is the next step? And looking at this particular crop of players, does it call into question the future of Nigerian women's football, the Super Falcons?
I think the next step in Super Falcons evolution has been evident since probably even the first WAFCON. They are the best team in Africa by a large margin. 10 out of 13 titles won. If we're being honest, it's 12 out of 15. But, we'll take the 10, that's fine. And what they now need to do is to move that dominance, or at least give a better showing at the Women's World Cup. We saw the last time with Nigeria, going all the way to the round of 16 and a very unfortunate loss on penalties to eventual finalist England. And, you just think that Nigeria can do more than that. Could they have beaten England? Probably not. England were one of the best teams at that tournament. But there were several teams that Nigeria was objectively better than at the World Cup. And if they can get to a deeper stage of the World Cup, which is something I feel that they could do in 2027 World Cup, if they qualify by, getting to semifinals, it's just the next step for them. They have to be a better force on the global stage instead of just being a local champion in the continent.
Yeah, I agree with those sentiments. I think, for me, we are fast approaching a time in women's football in Africa where just having the biggest names will not be enough to carry the day.
Sure.
And even when it comes to women's football and women's African football, some of the biggest names are no longer even Nigeria. As we saw with the Chanwinger sisters, we saw with Zambia. Yes, they lost, but they have some of the biggest names in Barbara Banda and Kunaji. So,
Chilufia.
it's getting to a point that even the big names, we are not having the big names.
Yeah.
Farouk sat down here for the game against Zambia, and he was very, very critical of Rasheedat Ajibade, not because he doesn't respect
What she has done,
but he felt that she should have been the torch bearer for the Super Falcons. After, obviously, we know the lineage of, after Mercy Akide, Perpetua Wokocha, then Azizat Oshoala, then the heir apparent was supposed to be Rasheedat Ajibade, but
Sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to inform you that Bababanda has scored, so Zambia is winning 1-0.
Whoa.
Well, like we already mentioned, it doesn't affect Nigeria's position that much. They still know they need to win. The only time, I think we should just go over the permutations.
The permutation. So obviously.
Okay, if Nigeria do win the game, then the result between Zambia and Malawi would not matter as much unless Zambia are able to win by a 1-goal margin, having scored more than 3 goals. So a 4-3 win, or a 5-4 win, or a 6-5 win, and on and on. But the likelihood of that happening is very, very low. So we all know that the Super Falcons just need to get to the 6 points, because when you consider the head-to-head ratio, it's only the head-to-head between the 3 teams at the top that are going to matter. And that means that Zambia's 6-0 win over Egypt does not really count, as long as the teams are on 6 points.
Yeah.
And in that case, Nigeria has it made. They just need to win this game, and they have their destiny in their hand. 1-0 win, 2-0 win, it doesn't really matter, as long as Zambia don't win by a specific margin of 4-3, 5-4, 6-5, and so on.
So a 2-0 victory for Zambia obviously means that it doesn't favor either of the teams.
A 2-0 victory for Zambia essentially sends home Malawi.
And so for Malawi need to keep it close.
Exactly.
So whatever result that gives them the opportunity to progress, if it's a 4-3, it's a 5-4, a 6-5.
It's very unlikely.
It's very unlikely, and that's probably going to be assessed to see if it's going to be for match fixing?
I don't think they even need to assess it. They just need to declare it match fixing.
Match
Because it will be very, very unlikely for such a high-scoring game to occur between two teams that are so close in terms of quality.
Yeah, so but as it stands right now, we have Zambia and Malawi on 6 points. The Super Falcons of Nigeria on 4 points. They need to get 3 points in this game. Also, I think the second thing I also wanted to pick your brain about is the head coach, Justin Madugu. This is somebody who won the WAFCON just less than 2 years ago at his first attempt. But we need to look at the circumstances that led to his appointment. And I think that is the problem he's facing. I'm not a fan of Justin Madugu. And that's because his approach to the game has not been something that I have a lot of respect for. Now, the results will see otherwise, especially after winning. Winning cures everything at the end of the day. He won the title. But for me, I just personally believe that he was a beneficiary of all the hard work that Randy Waldrum was trying to put in place in the national team, and capitalizing on it, he went to after the dismissal of Randy Waldrum, he went there, obviously with low expectations, after maybe nobody really wanted to touch the job yeah, as Super Falcons head coach, and he made the most of it, and all of a sudden, people now believe he's this tactical genius that has led us to the WAFCON. I disagree.
I think he has come under a lot of very unfair criticism, and here's what I think is going on. Randy Waldrum had a lot of goodwill with Nigerian fans. When he spoke about being owed salaries, when he spoke about the inadequacies that he had to work under as Super Falcons coach, it's brought up a lot of sympathy for him. So anybody that was going to take over from him was always going to face a lot of scrutiny. He got to the round of 16 of the World Cup, got to the final of the AFCON, he lost, but the quality of the team was always on display. And because of how he left in such an unceremonious way, not unceremonious for him, unceremonious for the NFF, and a lot of people don't like the NFF in the first place. So anybody that they picked would have come under that criticism that, okay, you guys refused to pay a premium for what they felt was one of the best coaches in the world. So let's now see who this penny pinching option that you are going to come up with is going to do. And to his credit, Madugu has done very well with the team. They don't always play expansive football, but they play football deliberately. They always try to do the same things. You always see a game idea in the way that the Super Falcons play. It's not always pretty, but we saw at the last WAFCON, it was very effective. There were games where, when it clicked, it was impossible to stop. We saw against Zambia 5-0. They decimated them. And that's one of the best teams in Africa. You already mentioned some of the top talents that they have, but when they played against the Super Falcons, they were nowhere to be found. And to be unfair to just say it was, individual brilliance, because he's the one who picks the team. If he decides to not pick the players who are individually brilliant, then we don't have any individual brilliance to capitalize on. So, at the end of the day, if Nigeria was failing at these WAFCONs, the buck would stop at his desk. If they are succeeding, he should also get the praise for it.
Okay. The problem is maybe I'm looking long picture. I'm thinking, obviously, we haven't picked up a ticket to qualify for the World Cup. But assuming this is not the year that we are going to start missing World Cups after qualifying for every edition. You understand? Assuming that this is we maintain status quo. And we aim for excellence at the World Cup. I don't just see how Madugu would compete with people who are tactically superior to him. Or maybe the question is, we haven't really even been doing anything anyway there. So let's just give him the opportunity as a local coach to express himself, and if he picks up a ticket to the World Cup and he... Oh! Good shot by Rasheedat Ajibade.
And you mentioned something about Ajibade earlier on. I think I tend to side with Farouk on this because you look at Nigeria, you look at Oshoala playing at Al Hilal, she's no longer
At the peak of her
at the peak
power.
of her power. She's no longer understanding that she usually is or she was when she was at the peak of her powers. Yet, against Zambia, she's the one who rescued the game. She didn't start against Malawi, and when she came on, the difference showed. And it's a bit of a disappointment that she's still
The talisman
of the team.
of this team.
I
Like,
mean, it's like, you watch Argentina and you watch Messi, and at 39 years old, you think there should be other players trying to step up to do things. We sometimes see Alvarez or Lautaro
or
Enzo, but you still find that most of the times the team goes back to Messi. And now that he's retired, or now that he's about to retire, there's the question mark of, okay, what then becomes of Argentina? And we face a similar situation in Nigeria in that when Oshoala retires, we then start to ask ourselves, okay, what next for Nigeria? And if the answer is Ajibade, I don't think she can be that talismanic.
the funny thing about Ajibade and Oshoala is that, like, their time in the Super Falcons actually overlaps a lot. And so,
Because they were both youth prodigies.
they were both youth prodigies. So even the question of her even replacing her, like, in terms, like, I look at this team, people are trying to talk me into Rinsola Babajide. People are trying to talk me into Monday Gift. And I'm like, if Monday Gift in her third WAFCON has not played in the first 2 games, has not played.
It's her second WAFCON because she controversially missed out on
Oh
the
yeah, she
last
controversially missed out. So,
And
like,
I feel
technically
like-
that is like her third AFCON. Like,
I
she
feel like
hasn't
this
even been
is-
given the opportunity to start.
Which is the problem.
Or people play.
Which is the problem that I think we're having, because if someone like Monday Gift, with the records that she has, she's a proper goal scorer.
Yeah.
When you watch her play, she's a proper.
We
number,
watch
she's a
her in
proper goal scorer
the
NWSL.
US, in the NWSL.
And you would expect that someone like that is giving a chance. But
Whoa,
you just,
Oshoala!
unfortunately,
Man, that pace is just
yeah,
gone a little bit.
It's not a little. It's genuinely gone.
That pace is just
genuinely
gone a
gone.
little bit. She's still the greatest. So for me, I think
I think it's a bit unfair that she hasn't even been given the opportunity. I mean, the last WAFCON, the decision to not select her was one of the most controversial ones.
controversial decisions, yeah.
And if they hadn't won, we would have probably been saying, oh, if only Monday Gift was there. But now that she's there, she's still not being given the chance to start.
The chance to start.
And we have to start asking if this is a normal tactical decision or if this is something else going on.
This is very, very funny because you literally just went on a soliloquy about the praising Madagu and his tactical approach. Like I said, these are the minor things that just puts me off Madagu. Stuff like this. Like when he decided to rotate. Look at the game against Malawi, the opening game of the tournament. First is first, you decide not to play your strongest lineup in the opening game of the tournament. There is a reason why, when you are the number 1 seeded team in the top part of the group, you usually play the 2 toughest teams first. They usually like the last team in the group is usually supposed to be the weakest team in the tournament. And the mentality is that, like, if you take care of business in your first 2 games, you have the option to rest. And even if you now fail to pick up maximum point, that is when you can now play your starting 11, a strong lineup in the final game. But if you are already in the first game already thinking about, and that's why his statement about the older the better, that statement is a disservice to the players in the Super Falcons. It's also a disservice to the younger players on the team. That statement did not help anybody. Who have not been given a chance. And these are my main problems with. But also, I want to talk about something. And obviously, you give me your thoughts. I think as much as we've talked about Madugu, we need to talk about the grassroots development of women's football. Anybody that is familiar with how women's football came to be a thing, whereby Nigerian women became like the powerhouse of football, there's a mixture of luck and a little bit of politics. And like that facilitated our growth. However, over the last couple of years, and like we highlighted the star power of other countries, if you go to Morocco and see, Morocco used to be a non-factor
When it
in
came to
women's
women's
football
football,
before. Look at the significant strides that Morocco have made in the last 3 editions. And obviously, you can say, okay, yes, they were hosts. Nigeria cannot host anything anymore, by the way. That's just by the way. Nigeria used to host this WAFCON.
Yeah.
Used to host it at the UGS Stadium, in Lagos. Nigeria cannot even host. Oh, lovely skills by Risola Babajide.
In that small space.
In that small space. Nigeria can no longer host anything.
Nice. Pass. Big mommy, pass the ball. Handball. That was clearly handball.
Whoa.
Referee.
That
was clearly handball and the penalty.
What happened?
That was clearly handball.
Let me check the name of this referee. Because there was one Wanjiku that was doing nonsense the other day. From Kenya. I think this one is from Rwanda. Let me check. Umutoni.
Come on, this is a penalty.
VAR, my friend.
This is a penalty.
They were trigger happy with VAR the other day. Using VAR as if it was a weapon of mass destruction. Baba, go and check VAR, my friend. Umutoni, I've waited till they call your name. Go and check video
That's
assistant.
a penalty, man.
That is a penalty, my friend.
I think this is an obvious penalty.
This is an obvious penalty.
You should see the first goal coming.
What did you think about the officiating in the previous game? In the game against Zambia.
It's tough.
Tough.
Every game where you don't win, or rather every game where you're not comfortable or where decisions go against you, you tend to say, oh, maybe there was something in it from the referee. I don't think the calls were that egregious for what we're seeing online in terms of the abuse and the reactions. Was the red card a red card? I think genuinely it was. Because on a yellow card, it seemed a bit reckless to make a foul like
she
that.
wasn't on a yellow card before now. I gave her a straight red now.
No, she wasn't on a yellow card. She was on a yellow card, but I think it was a straight red for the last man tackle.
They are sending the referee Umutoni to the monitor to go and check. I think this should be a stonewall penalty.
It was an obvious penalty.
This is a stonewall penalty.
It shouldn't even take this long to check it because the ball is on target.
The ball is on
hand
target.
is not in a natural position.
Our hand is not in a natural position. This is a penalty.
Without the ball reaching her hand, it's most likely going in the net or at least towards the goal. So it fits all the descriptions for a stonewall penalty.
The ball was actually even going into the net, so there's. I don't know.
Her body could not be in a more
natural position. And it was not a contested header that you say, okay, you are jumping down.
Yeah.
It
didn't come off her body or anything.
Award me that penalty. Rashida Tajibade, step to the spot, please.
Over Oshoala.
She's the penalty taker.
Over those times when she took penalties, Oshoala was not on the pitch. A good look at what?
No, if Oshoala says she wants to play it, obviously she's the greatest. Oshoala is the greatest African footballer of all time. So if she says she wants to play, she will play it. But I think Ajibade is the designated penalty taker. Umutoni, do you have something for me?
We're about to find out.
Yes!
An obvious penalty.
Penalty to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. A ball by Azizat Oshoala, deflected by Abdul Wahid with her hand. As you can hear the Nigerian supporters chanting inside the net.
Inside the net.
Let's see who is going to step.
Inside the net.
Yes,
Oshoala. Come on.
You are right. Azizat Oshoala stepped up. Agbabola.
Let's be serious.
Agbabola, I think she already has 11 WAFCON goals, if I'm correct. So this is an opportunity for Azizat Oshoala to continue to make history at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Azizat Oshoala, Agbabola.
There's only one result.
Agbabola.
All this dancing is for
Oshoala.
Oh!
Oshoala. Agbabola, the greatest women's African player of all time. So when we say the greatest women's African player of all time, Africa includes Nigeria.
Of course.
So another milestone for the great one. Now the Super Falcons are on 6 points.
6 points on their way to qualifying.
On their way to qualifying
for the quarterfinals, rather.
For the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm. But the problem now about the quarterfinals is we could see another giant side, just the way we have South Africa versus Morocco.
We could see Cameroon.
We could see Cameroon versus Nigeria.
Versus Nigeria. Let's just even chill out first. Let's chill out. Let's chill out.
And
what's
the goalkeeper doing?
Oshoala, nice pressure. He's actually good, and that is Oshoala is obviously the greatest African women's player of all time. But when you look at the role she had to play at the last tournament, it was more of a rotational player role.
Coming off the bench.
And she did not sulk. She did not
even when people try to make up stories about her retiring.
But her loyalty, her commitment to the national team, for her, it has always been the same. Wearing the green, white, green has always been an honor, and she has delivered time and time again. Maybe she just looked at it, and I don't know if this for certain. Maybe she just looked at it as an opportunity for the younger ones. Her own legacy was already set.
It's intact. Her
own legacy was already set. 6-time African women's footballer. As at that time, she had 3 WAFCONs. She now has 4. And she's like, okay, you know what? You guys do you. I'm not going to be a party pooper. I'm not going to say, do you know who I am? I am Aziza Oshoala. Do you know who I am? She went there. She did her job. But you see, I'm not even just talking about the goals. Like, she scored the winning goal against Zambia. She has scored again today against Egypt. It's about, I see Aziza Oshoala pressing goalkeepers, working hard for the team. And I'm like, is there a rejuvenated Aziza Oshoala that has found a fountain of youth in playing in Saudi Arabia? Maybe she's now used to playing in so much harsh conditions, in the desert, in heat, maybe it has actually affected her game and she's playing at an incredibly high level.
It's probably the other way around, because when you're in Europe or in the NWSL, playing week in, week out against the very best of the very best. When she was in Barcelona, she wasn't playing week in, week out, but she was in a team that was the best in the land. So there were very high expectations, there were very high demands and everything. But now playing for Al Hilal, the demands are not as much. So the physical demands are not as much. So it's a perfect place for her to go at this stage of her career, as her career is winding down. So the pressure, the need for, all the pressing, all the hard work is not as much. Not that it doesn't happen. Of course, it's there. You're playing in a professional football team, so you have to be professional. But she's not as stressed out, basically, playing for Al Hilal. So she has the energy. She has that, extra step when she's playing for Nigeria because it's available to her. She's not coming into the WAFCON completely tired after a long grueling season in Europe or in the NWSL. And it's a positive to Nigerian football. I mean, when she went to Saudi Arabia, I know there were a lot of mumblings and rumblings that, she's made a mistake. She's, gone to a team or to a country that is not really recognized for women's football. But we have to recognize sometimes that beyond the cash, these things might have other motives or reasons as well. And this could just be one of them.
For me, Aziza Oshoala, in terms of decoration, she's the most, not only is she the best, she's also the most decorated. And at this particular point in her career, her deciding to go to Saudi Arabia, she doesn't have anything to prove to anyone. But also, I think people underestimate how good the Saudi Arabian Women's League is. Especially, I looked at someone like Ashley Plumpton, who played at the last WAFCON and was by far Nigeria's best defender, by the way. But one of Nigeria's best players and was obviously in the team of the tournament. And you can say, someone like that is playing in the Saudi Arabian League.
With Al Ittihad.
With Al Ittihad, and she can come to the WAFCON and be one of the best players. So I think sometimes we read too much into, playing European football and stuff like that. Sometimes these players obviously have to take care of their body, and obviously I would like to know the science behind.
I think it really depends on the stage of the career. If someone let's say Rinsola Babajide was playing in Al Hilal, for example, we would have an issue with it because she hasn't had so much experience in the best leagues for her to then say, okay, let me go and take a break in the Saudi Women's League.
Yeah.
So it just depends on, the stage of your career where you're going there. Quality is always going to be quality, but you need to take care of yourself, take care of your body. We saw Lionel Messi move to the MLS. That must have also been a factor when he considered it. Playing more years in Europe, playing more years in PSG, it's going to take a bigger toll on your body. So if you know that you want to play for longer, then maybe move to a league that you can cruise for some time.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I want us to also touch another topic that has been trending, and that is the Super Falcons defense. Mm-hmm. Me and Farouk had a discussion about it, and we all remember what happened a few years ago with Super Falcons legend Onome Ebi, and how her departure from the Super Falcons led. A lot of people felt that maybe she shouldn't have gone to that 2023 Women's World Cup, yeah. But I mean, history was made playing in 6 Women's World Cup, I think. And when you talk about the greatest women's defender in African history, Onome Ebi obviously is at the top of that level. Osinachi Ohale is one of the best ever to have won. The funny thing about this team is that you are talking about one of the best ever. It's the same as we just talked about Oshoala. Osinachi Ohale has done everything for Nigeria. Yeah. I remember watching Osinachi Ohale in 2014 WAFCON. I think that's when she made her debut. Yeah. We are talking about 2014 WAFCON. That's about 12 years ago.
12 years ago, yeah.
About 12 years ago. So, she has done everything. And the question now is, obviously, we see that they are pairing Osinachi Ohale and Christy Uchebe. Christy Uchebe is deputizing for Totosin Dimeni that got a red card. Which brings about the question of Shukrat Oladipo. Mm-hmm. Shukrat Oladipo is supposed to be the heir apparent for that position. And going into the knockout stages now, that first game where they played a 3 centre-back defense of Shukra Oladipo, Tosin Dimeni, and Ohale, please, that devil should not befall us again. We should not do that thing. That thing, don't do it again. Just go, man, you have a lot of issues. At least just even don't try that one again. Let's start with that. Don't try that one again. So the question is that, what do you foresee in terms of creating a stable defense for the Super Falcons? What is your preferred four?
Well, in international football, it's always difficult to, remove the incumbent who is already there.
Yeah.
We saw it with Spain, Casillas and De Gea. For at least the last 2 years of Casillas' career, we would say that De Gea was on a higher level. I mean, his career with the Spanish national team. But unless he actively does something wrong, it's difficult to then say, oh, we need to replace this guy.
Yeah.
Unless there's someone who is at such a high level that you cannot ignore, unless the issues with the older player, the incumbent player, are so much that you cannot ignore before you then say, okay, you know what, maybe your time is up. But as long as the player there is still performing, because at the end of the day, in international football, experience also plays a huge factor.
Yeah.
And if you just decide to, okay, this player is already 30, let's retire out all the 30-year-old players, it will also bring its own issue.
Yeah.
And you then consider playing Oladipo with Dimeni, who is also relatively a very young player. So these are the issues why, we can't just immediately do away with Ohale. If there are issues, in terms of our play, I am confident that Madugo would make the decision to not play her. We've seen him drop Oshoala when he felt she was not at her best or at her fittest.
Yeah.
So if he can drop the best player in Nigeria's footballing history, then there's no reason why he will not drop Ohale if there's an issue with her as well. So it just, unfortunately or fortunately, it needs to be forced. The change needs to be forced. It's not a change that you can make, just off the whim or just as
Oshoala is down in pain. Oshoala is down in pain. I hope this is nothing
No,
serious.
it doesn't look too serious.
I hope this is nothing serious.
That's why the Egyptian
Oh
players
yeah,
are
okay.
upset.
She's back up. She's back up. So we are live on Facebook. We are live on Instagram. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on Twitch. We have about 12 people with us live on Instagram. And let me see some of the comments. We have Olamerus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This Super Falcons team is having a poor tournament. How bad now? The days of the Super Falcons winning 8-0 have gone. I think people should know that by
Winning
now.
8-0 in every single match.
Yeah, I think people should know that by now. Then we have a lot of people celebrating the penalty. Mr. Padro, Aniki 39. Thank you guys so much. And Chi Baby World, make una quick they score now. I'm pretty sure they are trying their best. So keep the comments coming. Let me go to Twitter to see.
To be fair, we probably expected Nigeria to be much better against Egypt, considering, like we mentioned, Egypt are probably the worst team at this WAFCON.
Yeah.
And Nigeria are hoping to be the best. So by this time, both Zambia and Zambia was still 1-0 at this time, but Malawi had already scored twice. So we were hoping that Nigeria would come out quicker off the blocks. But interestingly, we've also seen them allow Egypt play, which is something that is quite surprising.
Yeah. So we have 70 people streaming with us live on X. You guys, the live chat is open. You guys can send your messages or your thoughts. Let's actually read them out and have discussions about that. The Super Falcons still with a 1-0 lead against Egypt.
For now.
They keep pushing forward, trying to find that second goal that is going to be needed.
Not a great cross.
I want to also talk about, we've talked about the defense. Before we talk about the midfield, let me give my own preferred starting lineup for the defense. I think, like you said, you made very good points about Osinachi Ohale.
Yeah.
And I think going forward, I think the defense should be Osinachi Ohale and Christy Uchebe. That should be the center-back pairing. Even though Christy Uchebe is a midfielder, she also deputizes as a defender for Benfica once in a while. But I like this partnership because she can take on the much more mobile matchup.
Yeah.
Where in defense, that's something that Tosin Dimeni struggles against. So then the right back, Alozie goes to right back. I prefer Alozie as a right back. Even at that right back safe, I don't want to say much, but let me just thank her for her services. I prefer Alozie at right back. And instead of playing a three-woman defense with Shukra Oladipo, just use Tosin Dimeni as the left back instead. Use Tosin Dimeni as the left back instead. Instead of using Shukra Oladipo as a right back, where she sometimes gets lost. I don't understand that the idea is that she can use the ball. She can play the ball to fit.
But the thing is, if we're complaining about Dimeni struggling with mobility at centre back, at left back, they should be killed.
And that way we know that the bulk of the busting forward in terms of overlapping, helping at the attack, that will rest solely more on Alozie than Dimeni. Dimeni is just to keep things tight at the back, and as a left footer, should create that space. So that's it for me. Like, that's just my own preferred starting 11. Starting defense pairing.
I mean, in an ideal world, we would have Ashley Plumtan. We won't have.
Shout out to Ash. You are really missed at this WAFCON. Sorely missed, and hopefully you get yourself right for the 2027 Women's World Cup. Hopefully we qualify. But I'm looking forward to seeing Ash back in the national team setup. Now let's look at the attack. I think right now, Oshoala is going to be the number 9 going forward.
Yeah.
As
long as she's fit.
As long as she's fit, she has found this fountain of youth. The problem with Rinsola Babejide, and this is not even a criticism. Hey.
Zambia 2-0.
Whoa, we just have confirmation. Zambia with a 2-0 lead against Malawi. If Malawi they should let Zambia qualify. That's their own.
That is looking more and more likely that's what's going to
happen. And if that is the case, if that is the case, then we need to do a little bit of permutations to decide who is going to be first and second in the group.
I believe that would be. Yes, but Zambia is also beating them. And
But
we
Zambia
beat
is beating them, and we will beat Zambia.
Yeah, so do we.
So do we.
currently.
If we maintain this
And
result,
so do Zambia.
Then it's between us
and
and Malawi.
Malawi
Zambia are only through because they are currently ahead of Malawi on goal difference.
on goal difference.
On goal difference between the three top teams.
Yeah, if that's so, if all three of us are tied on 6 points, what is going to happen is that is provided it ends 2-0.
Yes, provided
Provided it ends 2-0, Zambia will finish top of the group, Nigeria will finish second. Then Malawi unfortunately will go. That's flash score. Yeah, I'm looking at flash score, but
no idea why Flash Score has that.
but even flash
But
score.
in real life,
But in real life, the table is basically Zambia, Nigeria, then Malawi. That's
because Nigeria in the matches between the three teams would be on 0
on 0, yeah. So Nigeria between the three teams will be on 0. Malawi
for goal difference.
or goal difference. Malawi is -1 right now.
Malawi is -1, while Zambia is +1.
Why is Zambia is +1?
So Zambia will be top of the group,
That's what I
followed
said.
by Nigeria.
Followed by
and
Nigeria.
then Malawi.
Then Malawi unfortunately will be going on.
But if Malawi gets one more goal, then it changes.
Then
things
changes-
again.
it changes the
Malawi
game.
goes top, Nigeria second,
Second,
and Gambia
and Zambia
third,
out.
rather.
They now go down to +1, which is level with Nigeria. Then you have to look at goals scored. And on that count, well, Nigeria will still be trailing because they have just the 4 goals scored so far. And Malawi has 6.
Whoa.
Zambia goal.
Although the Super Falcons need to play with a little bit much urgency. We haven't really even talked much about this game from a analysis point of view. I've not really been impressed with Tony Payne. She's supposed to be the one dominating the midfield.
Creative player, pass.
Pass the ball now. Pass the ball. You've done all the hard work already. You've done all the hard work already now. Oh,
Nigeria definitely needs to pick things up.
Nigeria needs to pick things up.
I mean, we're 5 minutes away from the halftime break.
Whoa, Shukrat.
To their credit, Egypt have been really good at the back.
Yeah.
They've rarely allowed shots on target. Apart from the penalty, I don't think Nigeria has tested the Egyptian goalkeeper at all. But you know, the corner kick now, maybe they can do something. Although Nigeria have never really been known for their corner prowess, and a huge blow for the Super Falcons as Oshoala
I think Oshoala cannot continue
succumbed to her
again.
injuries and is
I think
coming off.
Oshoala cannot continue again.
It's quite unfortunate. It was her industry that got
Super
the initial
Falcons on
penalty.
Nigeria legend Oshoala is coming off. There's so much pain in her face. Monday gift.
Coming on his Monday.
Monday gifts. We were literally just
Listen,
talking about you.
I know we like to criticize our coaches and you know
We
Justin-
literally were just talking
Justin
about
Madugu
you.
even more. But again, he still looks like he has the best interest of Nigeria at heart. He doesn't look like someone who would intentionally make the wrong decision just to prove a point.
I think Madagu or some of his assistants obviously were watching the Pulse Sports Watchalong live stream, and they made the decision to act upon. Hey, the girl with the blue hair, Skippo, come on.
She's had a few sights of goal, and they've all unfortunately been quite disappointing. I mean, she's one of the. She has her shirt under, to celebrate in case she scores.
In case she
And
scores.
we haven't seen that shirt all tournament, which is very, very disappointing.
Rashida Adibade will be hoping for another penalty now that Oshoala has left the pitch.
Yeah, but
yeah.
we didn't see the shirt.
She scored I'm saying that like now that Oshoala is out, if they get another penalty, she's going to be on penalty duties. So Tony Payne with a rising shot. The introduction of Tony Payne to the Super Falcons when she came into the Super Falcons initially it was obviously she was younger then. It was like bringing in a player with so much technical ability.
Michael Olise.
Yeah, who like I think the number one thing she could do is
Cut it back. Thank you.
oh you did
Finally,
what?
a shot on target. Not
Good
from
shot
penalty
on target,
spot.
but she didn't put her laces on that ball now. She didn't put her laces on that ball.
To be fair,
she wanted to side foot it.
all the time she's put her laces on the ball, they've gone over the bar. So
Like she wanted to side foot it. Good shot. Ijami Lucy with a very unselfish play to Ajibade. The Egyptian goalkeeper makes the save.
great
Corner
pressure
kick.
again, obviously.
At
from-
least just even score try as much as possible to get the second goal going into the halftime break.
3 shots already. It's only 45 for
Ohale. Whoa.
Interesting. Lovely. I think that's Tony Payne.
Oh, another save. Good ball by
Now,
Babajide.
this is what we are talking about. Putting pressure on them.
Yeah.
They probably heard the score of
Of the second game, yeah.
really good effort from Babajide.
Whoa.
Good stop as well. She's down on the floor now. Habiba.
Why is the Egyptian goalkeeper
Like, you literally collected
Considered 9
6
goals in the last 2 games.
in the last 2 games. Now you want to turn yourself into Vozinha, Abi? You see Nigeria now, you turn yourself into Vozinha. No wahala.
More people take more interest in the game.
Malawi still lead. I said Malawi. Zambia still leading Malawi 2 goals. Nigeria
2-0.
have a corner, leading 1-0 as we gradually approach the halftime break. Risola Babajide has been somebody like congratulations to her. She was able to be part of the team that won the WAFCON the last edition, and she was actually good in the group stage games.
Yeah.
I think she started like two of the group stage games,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, Madagu was like, "This is the team. This is what I'm sticking with."
I think the game against Zambia really changed a lot of things for Madugu.
Yeah.
Because he saw how the team could play to their fullest capacity, and he never changed from that. And they obviously went on to win.
The way Alozie is always hunting for a goal,
we forget because of the sacrifice she makes for the Super Falcons. But to stay forward, she's literally a right winger.
Like she's not a right winger. Like I know that's what she plays.
That's what she plays at
That's
club level.
for Chicago, but like when they play in this particular position, she's always like busting forward. And I think the Super Falcons are one of the teams whereby like they are always going to be on the ascendancy. The Super Falcons are always going to be probably dominating more possession.
So you can afford to have
so you can afford to do it.
Right
Like
back.
it's. I mean, this Egyptian goalkeeper has been receiving treatment for over like 30 minutes now. Whatever the case is. What are we doing here? 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 We now have 90 people joining us on the stream. 4 minutes. Literally, the goalkeeper spent 5 minutes on the floor. You are giving us 4 minutes,
4 minutes of extra time.
of stoppage time. What are you
Plus
doing?
the VAR check as well.
Plus the VAR check, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, for God's sake? We now have 90 people live streaming with us on X. As Tony Payne prepares to take the corner kick, I think this is going to be a short corner. I think this is going to be a short corner. You have Ohale, you have Christy Uchebe, you have Rashida Ajibade, and Alozie in the box. Whoa!
Rinsola would do.
Go!
That's a striker.
Monday gift.
Best striker. See Risola's work.
See Risola's work. Risola work.
Risola made the goal.
Of course.
Risola work.
Again.
What a skill move there.
She.
Very good at dribbling tight spaces.
So good.
She might be a better dribbler than Chukwueze.
I swear. Well, the point is that we were literally just talking about this Oshoala Babaji and how her performance at the last WAFCON. But this is brilliant work by Oshoala Babaji. Brilliant work by Oshoala Babaji. And Monday gift in the right place at the right time
Doing what
to
a
poke it
striker
in. 2
does.
goals to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And they seem to be cruising to the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals and
There's still an opportunity to score more.
Ideally to the top of the table.
Ideally. 2-0 to Nigeria. Shukrat Oladipo ball. Ref, Umutino, what's your own name? Let me check your name again so that Rwandans won't say I butchered your name. Let me check your name again. Umutoni. Don't be like your Kenyan counterpart. We don't use curses sent to her and her family for where she did, please.
This is a yellow card.
This is a yellow card now. This is a yellow card at least.
A yellow card at least.
This is a yellow card at least. The Super Falcons of Nigeria leading 2-0. Let's see if they can add one more. We still have 3 minutes of stoppage. Noah Masood gets a yellow card for that dangerous tackle on Shukrat Oladipo.
Same player who committed the foul for the penalty.
For the penalty, that should have also been a yellow card.
No, I don't think that would have been a yellow card because it wasn't,
It wasn't intentional.
play to
We are now AI. We can judge intention. Okay, fantastic.
Monday, fix it up. Away for Egypt.
Shoot. Thank you.
Uchebe is one of my favorite. Ever since she was at under 20, she has been one of my favorite players. She was always the successor to Halimati Ayinde in terms of like
central midfield.
Central midfield, just keeping it tight.
Yeah,
keeping it tight. But she now has the little extra ability of progressing with the ball.
Yeah.
And that is, Deborah Abiodun has that ability. Deborah Abiodun's number one instinct is to move the ball forward, pass the ball forward. It's those tidy passes that Deborah Abiodun is like. That's her
That's her forte. That's what she does.
That's basically what she does. It's basically that one studied. Alimata Ayinde, I was like, how can I get your shirt in the future? How can I just steal your position in the future?
Great work by Alozie. So the Egyptian player is complaining of what she feels was an elbow to the face in the box.
What happened to you? Do you have leprosy? Is this a family problem? What is the problem here?
This might go to the VAR.
She's signaling
An elbow from
an elbow to the
Alozie.
face. Let's look at the replay. Let's look at the replay. Let's see the other camera angle.
I don't think it's an intentional elbow.
There is no elbow.
It's not an intentional elbow.
It's not even an elbow in middle. It's at a shoulder level now.
No, that was she elbow into the face, but I don't think it was intentional. They were both jostling for the ball, and she was even doing more of the aggression. So if anything, it should be a free kick to Nigeria.
Yeah.
Checking possible penalty.
Checking possible penalty for what?
Really?
Malawi, Zambia, halftime break. Zambia leading Malawi 2-0. Barbara Banda and Chilufia with the goals for Zambia as they lead Malawi 2-0. As they lead Malawi 2-0. VAR is checking for a possible penalty against Nigeria.
For the elbow by Alozie.
For the elbow by Alozie, I don't know. The way VAR takes so much time at this WAFCON, it's like there's a new, there's a downgraded version of VAR for this WAFCON.
I really don't. I think, unfortunately,
That's basically
Unfortunately, it just speaks to the.
It's like they were like, okay, you know, it's like they brought out, you know what, we are going to use the VAR that doesn't have. It's like we are going to use the VAR that doesn't have the one that doesn't have subscription.
And the referee is going to.
The VAR is going. Umutoni is going to the VAR monitor.
This is unbelievable.
And I think they are going to award the penalty.
It was clearly an accident.
Goes to the VAR monitor to check for a penalty.
If this was the other way around, you want the penalty.
Yeah, now that I see this in much slower play because
What the hell is Alozie doing?
she
What-
doesn't really go for the
She didn't
ball.
intend to do
Yes.
that, but she still did it. You can't
No,
do
I
that.
think the main problem for me is that she doesn't try to go
She
for the
wanted to
ball.
back the player. It's not like
Exactly.
back the player, but you can't do that to the face. Maybe she didn't expect that the player was that short.
And without going for the ball, she just
Like
rams
people
into
do like
the
that
player.
for the ball, but if you shoulder to shoulder, you can't do that into somebody's face.
Well, it would be a very interesting call, a bold call. But
She has
it
made
would
a
not be-
decision. Let's see
it would
what
not be a wrong call.
Let's see what the decision is.
This should be a penalty.
Will Egypt have a penalty?
Now they say go save am anyway.
Yep, penalty
Penalty,
and a yellow
penalty,
card.
and a yellow card to Alozie.
She can't. When it was the babe on the hijab that was apparently lying, Kayode was in arms. Now Alozie is lying that she used her shoulder, not her elbow, and Kayode is silent. Kayode, what changed for you?
Well, I was here for one. It's not winning.
Michel Alozie gets a yellow card. I mean,
I will be really surprised if Egypt are able to convert this penalty. And I believe that's Nigerian in me speaking, but also Nnadozie is known for her.
Nnadozie
prowess.
is a penalty.
Yeah.
She's a penalty monster. It's literally her bread and butter. But I don't expect her to save every penalty.
I
don't
think
expect
she
her
saves
to, I don't think.
So, because I was doing this competition, I didn't expect her to save this one. This is our off competition.
Wow.
This is her bread and butter. So
Now I see why Kayode wants this penalty scored.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it.
wait, Kyle, wait,
have you heard that face card doesn't decline?
wait.
Face card now.
Now people,
Say decline now.
now people's me they see here. Oh.
I'm sorry.
This-
Ronaldo said decline the
Not
Like
not
this
disrespect.
face card, Joe.
face. I understand why.
Nnadozie. Oh,
Nothing.
Egypt score
Why did I go?
2-1 to Egypt.
2-1.
See that face now. See that face card. I understand why people say stay sleep this now. I understand.
Oh my God. Can we just please take out Alozie and bring in Imura to start the second half?
It doesn't really change anything.
No,
This is-
she will go collect a yellow card, please.
if Nigeria can't beat Egypt with a man or a woman down, then I don't know. It's a
Whoa, we are going to the halftime break. It is Nigeria 2, Egypt 1, Zambia leading Malawi
2-0.
2-0 in the other group game. Let's take a break. We'll be back
We're back
for the start of the
for the
second
start of the
half.
second half.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What a loss of